Welcome into Oilers TV Playoffs presented by Sport Chek. Chris Westcott alongside 630 Ched's Reid Wilkins to break down Game 6 in San Jose, Oilers versus Sharks. Now, Reid, tonight the game is in San Jose, but this arena will be full. The Orange Crush watch party has been sold out, so maybe there's something on the line tonight.
Yeah, just a little bit. The excitement in the city is incredible. I know it's been fun for Rob Brown and I all year, and especially into the playoffs, talking to fans after games. I was just walking into the arena, and just a random person I passed just looked at me and said, "Go Oilers!" So that's just the vibe in the city that just strangers will pass on good wishes for the team to one another. So no, it's pretty cool. It's a chance for the Oilers to close it out. It's another in what's been a long line of tests and steps throughout the season. You know, they kind of missed an opportunity to take control of the series in Game 4, but now a chance to put it away this evening.
Well, we'll talk more about exactly what the Oilers need to do to beat the Sharks, but first let's go to Tom Gazzola at the SAP Center for an update.
Guys, after a thrilling come-from-behind victory in Game 5, the Oilers return to San Jose with an opportunity to close out this series. Of course, should that happen, Edmonton will need to be much better than they were Tuesday night and forget everything that happened here in this building in Game 4. Now, the Sharks come into this one with their backs against the wall. The defending Western Conference champions will come out with their best effort of the series. That's what Tom McLellan's group is expecting. Another note to pass along your way: every player on the roster for the Oilers was on the ice this morning for a quick and efficient 20-minute practice. The best way to describe the mood around the team right now is businesslike. Chris, Reid, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Tom. So, Reid, business-like approach for the Oilers. Very business-like was David Desharnais in Game 5 in the faceoff dot, 70%. The whole team was 59%. Todd McLellan said at the SAP Center this morning that faceoffs are key to puck possession and the success of the Oilers. Do you agree with that? And how do they fine-tune that? Because not much practice time in the playoffs either.
Well, and Leon Draisaitl had a huge game in the dot as well in Game 5. He was 15 out of 19. It's interesting with faceoffs because the Oilers have been one of the worst teams in the league all season long. So I kind of look at it where I don't suddenly expect them to improve and jump up to a 55-60% team, but they do need a way to at least keep it even. I mean, there was another game in this series where San Jose had a slight edge, 22-20. Okay, you can get away with that, but you know, there's been games where San Jose has been in the high 50%. So I think the Oilers at least need to make it a saw-off in the face-off circle if they can't have an advantage. And it's also key, you know, what happens on those scrambled draws. You got to have the wingers get in there and provide support and try to free up the puck as well. But yeah, I mean, and Peter DeBoer joked the other day about their face-offs being good in the series, and he said, well, we were bad in the regular season, but we're playing one of the 4 teams that was worse than us, right? But it is a key part of the game. I look for the Oilers to at least kind of be around even and then take it from there.
So when you win face-offs, you have the puck more, which means you have more offense. Science, folks. Let's hear from the room at the SAP Center and Todd McLellan.
You know, they're going to come out flying the first 10 minutes, so we got to match it and, you know, find ways to, you know, do what we did in overtime in the third period. You know, we were relentless and getting pucks deep, throwing pucks to the pads, and, you know, getting on our forecheck and winning our puck battle. So we just got to find ways to do that.
So we won't talk about closing them out. We'll talk about starting. We'll talk about things that we need to do well, and they have to happen from minute 1 through minute 60. They can't appear at minute 11, 12, or 13 because it could be too late.
Like I talked about, the fourth win is always the toughest one to get, and you know, we put ourselves in a position to be up in the series going into a game like this. So you want to do what you can to bring your best game and make the most of that position that I was just talking about. So like I said, we know they're going to bring their best, and if we want to come out winners tonight, we got to bring our best. So we learned our lesson, I think, in Game 4, and being comfortable with the series lead. So hopefully we don't have to learn another lesson tonight.
I think all too often, it goes back to Maddie's question a little bit, is those top 2 lines kind of neutralize each other, and your third and your fourth lines tend to rise or fall to the occasion. We were lucky enough to get ours performing in Game 5, and we need that here in Game 6.
You heard it there, Reid, from the SAP Center. First chance to clinch the series for the Oilers. Big test. You alluded to it earlier in our open. But what I find interesting is Milan Lucic there. He says they learned a lesson from their 7-0 wallop that you can't be comfortable with a series lead. What Oilers team do we expect to see tonight?
Well, I think we'll know in the first 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, I hope it's the team that plays with energy and composure, because I think those have been two key things for the Oilers this season. If they come out, it's not necessarily about dominating the first 10 minutes, which they have been able to do a couple times in this series, but playing strong, getting to pucks, staying in puck battles, and letting San Jose know, okay, this is going to be a difficult night. You know, we know that we got a chance to clinch. We know what happened in this building last time, and it's not going to happen again. So I look for the Oilers to get out there, try to get on the body and get engaged in puck battles, keep pucks alive, because the Oilers have been a pretty good team in the second half of games throughout the season. I mean, they've been a pretty good third-period team. They've had some comebacks. They had a dramatic comeback here a couple of nights ago, and I think if they can, prolong the length of time that the game is tied or within a goal either way, they stand a really good chance, because then I think they can keep rolling their 4 lines and get after the Sharks as they go into the third period again, like we saw 2 nights ago. So, but the start, as always, is so crucial. You don't want to fall behind. You don't want to give San Jose an early lead and get that crowd going, in their favor, and have that big tidal wave like we saw in Game 4.
But not just the starts, because we always talk about them being a good 10-minute team to open the game, obviously, but when you score against them, they've got the experience and the drive that they come back at you for the next 10 minutes. You have to weather that, right?
Well, sure, and I think that comes down to the composure element, in that the Oilers, and they've talked about a belief system, and to me what that means is the Oilers know how they have to play to be successful. They have ways to manage the other team's forecheck. They have ways to break out the puck. They have ways to get their own forecheck going. And they have to trust those things, even if the game isn't always going in their favor. And when they do trust them, they're usually able to get momentum back, limit the other team's opportunities, and work their way back into the game. And they said that after the Game 5 comeback, that they stuck with their belief system, right? And that is, okay, they were down a goal going to the third. They didn't, oh my God, we have to tie it in the first 4 or 5 minutes, or we're never going to tie it. They just stuck with it, stayed in the game, and were able to tie it late in the third period. So I just think for the Oilers, manage the start and let San Jose know we're not going away until the final buzzer, and I think they'll be in the game right down to the end.
Well, the Oilers looking for a much better result than the last time they went to San Jose, and it's their first chance to clinch this series tonight. That'll do it for Part 1 of Oilers TV Playoffs presented by Sport Chek. Stay tuned for Part 2 as Reid and I break down the Sharks.